Yo, 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 what up, RotoBaller family? My name is Joe Idone, coming to you live from the Preferred Line studio here on behalf of RotoBaller. Let's do launching long shots for the 124th U.S. Open held at historic Pinehurst Resort. The last two winners at U.S. Opens held at Pinehurst, Michael Campbell had 0 career PGA Tour wins. Martin Keimer had 1, if you don't include the majors. This can happen here. There's carnage, there's wiregrass, there's randomness and variables that don't often come into play in PGA Tour events. 150-man field. Anything can happen. We're living in a world where it feels like it's inevitable that Scotty Scheffler is going to appear at the top of the leaderboard on Sundays. I don't know that that's the case here. Anytime you introduce randomness, you make an event or an outcome less predictable. Less predictable means let's talk some long shots. You should join the RotoBaller team. If you're here checking out the YouTube page, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to thumbs up this video. Make sure to like the abundance of content that comes out of the work that this team provides each and every week throughout the PGA Tour season. There's like 20 articles up. You've got 2 podcasts to choose from. You've got live streams galore. You've got Discord channel. You've got matchups. I've already got 3 posted full head-to-head tournament matchups that I got from a whale out in Vegas before the line moves. Get in that Discord channel. Be on the front side of the wave. Let's hit some long shots for the U.S. Open. Okay. Player number 1. And here I go. I'm already back to betting like live players in a major championship. I can't get away from it. I promise I'm not a live bot. I'm a PGA Tour stan. But some of these guys I just get excited for. And I see a little bit of value in the number because we're not used to seeing them. The first one I want to talk about, let's go to England and let's talk a little bit about Tyrrell Hatton. Tyrrell. T9 at the Masters, sneaky T9 at the Masters. When you're looking at his stat profile here, you aren't going to see a lot of the live stuff, but I can tell you that he's about mid average in terms of driving distance and driving accuracy. He's not going to blow anyone away tee to green. What he is going to blow people away is he consistently is one of the best players, not only on the live tour, in the world at around the green game. This dude kind of solves the puzzle, and I know what you're thinking. The U.S. Open, the carnage, the unpredictability, the difficulty is going to frustrate the living hell out of someone like Tyrrell Hatton. And there's a good chance you're right. I'm willing to take that chance at 80-1. There are 90s out there. He is minus 130 in a top 40 market. I think that's very achievable. He finished top 20 at the Open Championship, 16th at the Tour Championship, 14th at Sentry, 13th at the Sony Open, and barely squeaked through the cut at the PGA Championship despite losing 4.2 on approach. Listen, I know the difficult conditions may not be Tyrrell Hatton's wheelhouse. That said, we're talking about a player, the most difficult that I've ever seen Bay Hill Club and Lodge play at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. This guy won that event. And was he frustrated and complaining throughout it? Of course he was, but he was able to keep the ball in the fairway. He was able to utilize and lean on his ridiculous short game around the greens and potentially get it done. It's a big number on someone like Hatton. I think that if you're playing in an each way space, it's a nice bet. Okay. He's like 66-1 in the each way markets, but you get up to 8 places there. Half your money goes to the outright, half your money goes to the top 8. It's a really, really solid option. I think a nice way to play someone like Tyrrell this week. Hatton, 80-1, first on the card. Next guy, 90-1. We're going to go slightly higher. And here's the thing. We've seen a Kiwi win. We've seen a German win. This plays, and you listen to the Australians talk about their love for Pinehurst No. 2 in the Sand Hills of North Carolina. Looks very rugged, looks very natural, looks very much like Australian golf. Looks like someplace you would see in Adelaide or anywhere in Australia that these players are familiar. There's a couple names that everyone's sort of gravitating to. Obviously, Adam Scott gets in the field late. Jason Day gets his warranted hype as a former number 1. Everybody loves Cam Smith, including myself. But have we forgotten a little bit about Min Woo Lee, the other Australian in the field? Look at what he's done recently. Four straight finishes inside the top 26. Now, he isn't like going to wow you with like a 10th place, but if you're taking a 90 to 1, you can get a plus 105 in a top 40 on Minwoo this week. He did so at the Masters, he did so at the PGA, and I think this might sneakily set up better for him than either. Distance. This course isn't getting enough credit for how long it is. It is 2 yards shorter than Augusta National. 2 yards. And the big difference is we're dealing with a par 70 and not a par 72. This is a big boy golf course. The par 5 10th hole is almost 630 yards. You're going to have 4 par 5s on the card that are over 500 yards at Pinehurst. You're going to have a prerequisite of distance. And if everyone's missing fairways, I don't care if it's not Winged Foot. I don't care if it's not Muirfield Village. I don't care if it's not the Country Club or Oak Hill or these places with thick rough. You're better off playing from the sand from 130 yards than 170 yards, especially when the greens are effectively 2 to 3,000 square feet based on the shapes and runoffs that you have to play into. Minwoo kind of underrated in terms of his around the green game, I believe. A decent putter, and I think that Australian lineage and where he grew up, and a guy who won the Australian Open is well suited for a place like Pinehurst. Call me crazy. 90 to 1 on Minwoo, number 2 on the long shot card. And finally, my boy, you rank up the difficulty, you ratchet up around the green game and the importance of putting and the importance of scrambling. And yes, you nailed it. I'm going to take Denny McCarthy. He's 175 to 1 in the outright space. There have been a mixed bag of results to say the very least, but I think in a top 40 space, you can still get a plus 150, 1.5x every dollar that you put in. You know he's going to be there with the putter. You get him back on Bermuda greens, which he lives down here in Florida, should be quite familiar with, and tends to really separate on those Bermuda type greens around the green. Can he have a great approach week? It's unlikely, but there are spikes in there. There's the ability for him to maybe gain 2 strokes on approach. There's the ability for him to maybe play level the field off the tee. There's also the ability for him to gain 10 on and around the greens this week, especially at a place like Pinehurst. You put short grass into play, and what that does in these runoffs are really going to separate and do a great job of just basically pulling skill to the top, right? You get the thick rough like we saw last week at Muirfield Village, and it's chop it out and it's play to a spot and kind of hope. And that doesn't do a great job of separating skill, in my opinion. The short grass does. Anytime that's of utmost importance, like you've seen Phil Mickelson play well here, you've seen Ricky Fowler, guys who are known to have incredible hands around the green. This is still the best putter on the PGA Tour. I still like him this week when the conditions get ultra difficult, like they did last year at Muirfield when he played really well. Still finished T40 at Memorial, T24 at Charles Schwab, T6 at the Wells Fargo, 28th at the Heritage. These are signature events. 45th at the Masters, second at the Valero, where he almost stormed that thing and took it away from Akshay. Those are my three guys: Tyrrell, Minwoo, Denny McCarthy. Enjoy the heck out of the U.S. Open this week. It's going to be a fantastic week. I think the best tournament that we see that will define the 2024 season. On behalf of the entire team at RotoBaller, we work incredibly hard and we do it for you guys. The people who support the RotoBaller network are the people that we do it for. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of that. This has been your Launching Long Shot segment for the U.S. Open. Have a great week. Good luck. I'm out of here. Peace, gang.